Chapter 4: Fear, Listening to the Voice of Protection. Welcome back to Soft Voice Psychology. Wherever you are right now, pause for a moment. Feel the air as it moves in through your nose and out again through your lips. Today, we step into the territory of fear. Fear is an emotion that we often resist, perhaps more than any other. When we are frightened, our bodies stiffen, our hearts race, our minds rush to escape. Fear feels unpleasant, overwhelming, sometimes even paralyzing. But what if fear itself is not an enemy? What if fear is a guardian, a messenger that has walked with humanity since the beginning of time? In this episode, we will walk gently through fear, listening not with dread but with curiosity. We will explore what fear is, why we have it, how it can mislead us, and how it can also guide us towards safety, courage, and growth. What is fear? Fear is an emotional response to a perceived threat. It is our nervous system preparing us to survive danger. When we hear a sudden noise in the dark or stand on a tall cliff, fear activates. Muscles tighten, pupils widen, heartbeats quicken. The body floods with adrenaline. Fear's purpose is protection. Without fear, early humans would have walked into predators, eaten poisonous foods, ignored storms. Without fear today, we would drive recklessly, take needless risks, and endanger ourselves. Fear may feel uncomfortable, but it is an ancient guardian. Types of fear. Not all fears are the same. Here are some examples. Natural fears, they protect us. Loud noises, dangerous animals, heights. Learned fears, conditioned through experience. A child bitten by a dog may later fear all dogs. Social fears, fear of rejection, judgment, or failure. These protect our belonging but can limit our voice. Existential fears, fear of death, meaninglessness, the unknown. Some fears are healthy, others distorted. Our task is not to erase fear, but to recognize which fears are messengers of truth and which are shadows of the mind. The neuroscience of fear. Inside the brain, fear lives in the amygdala, which evaluates threats. If danger is sensed, signals shoot through the body: fight, flight, or freeze. The hippocampus adds context. Am I in real danger now, or is this just a memory? The prefrontal cortex tries to reason. This is only a movie. This is only an exam. This is not a tiger. When fear works well, these systems balance. But sometimes the amygdala overreacts, perceiving small triggers as survival threats. That is when fear becomes anxiety or phobia. Cultural voices about fear. Fear is not only biological. It is also shaped by the stories we tell, the culture we grow up in, the traditions that surround us. Across the world, cultures have given different meanings to fear. Some celebrate courage as the conquest of fear. Others celebrate patience in the face of it. Some insist fear is weakness. Others remind us fear is wisdom. By listening to these cultural voices, we begin to see fear has many faces, many languages, many lessons. Western voices, fear as something to overcome. In much of the Western imagination, fear is something to be conquered. Ancient Greek myths tell of heroes battling monsters in caves, diving into the unknown, triumphing by slaying what they feared. From the legend of Hercules facing impossible labors, to modern Hollywood films where protagonists defeat their fear, courage is often equated with fearlessness. In everyday life too, Western societies often encourage phrases like, "Face your fears," "No fear," "Be strong, don't be afraid." Courage here is seen as action in spite of fear, even denial of it. Fear becomes an obstacle on the road to individuality, independence, achievement. This can empower, but it can also shame people who naturally feel more fear, as if their humanity makes them weak. Eastern voices, fear as impermanence and harmony. In many Eastern traditions, fear is not something to be defeated, but something to be acknowledged and lived with. In Buddhism, fear is seen as one of the poisons of the mind, But the antidote is not suppression. Instead, fear is noticed with awareness. Ah, fear is here. By breathing with it, fear loses its grip. Zen teachings remind us that fear arises when we cling to life, to identity, to permanence. By remembering impermanence, that everything changes, fear softens. Confucian traditions emphasize harmony. Showing fear openly may be seen as disharmony. True strength lies not in fighting fear loudly, but in carrying it with balance, without disrupting the flow of the group. So here, courage is not fearlessness, but serene coexistence with fear. Indigenous voices, fear as connection to the unseen. In many indigenous cultures, fear is not only natural but also spiritual. It is not merely a sign of danger, but a signal from the invisible world. For example, in some Native American traditions, fear in the wilderness is respected as intuition, a message from the land itself. Feeling fear may mean spirits are near, or a reminder to honor the sacredness of what lies beyond human control. In these traditions, fear is not rejected but respected. It is part of the dialogue between humans and nature, guiding cautiousness and reverence. African voices, fear as communal wisdom. In many African cultures, fear is not experienced in isolation but within community. Dangerous situations, wild animals, conflict, illness, have historically been faced collectively. Proverbs often capture this wisdom. When fear rules the heart, courage is found in the village. Fear is not shameful but expected. The lesson is not, do not fear, but do not face fear alone. Together, fear can be navigated. This contrasts with some Western ideals of the solitary hero. Here, courage is shared strength in the face of fear. Fear and religion. Most religious traditions also have deep teachings on fear. Christianity distinguishes between destructive fear and fear of God, which is not terror but reverence. Fear becomes respect for the sacred. Many biblical phrases say, "Do not be afraid," reminding believers that faith offers safety. Islam speaks of khawf, fear, and taqwa, awe, reverence. The Quran teaches balance. Fear of wrongdoing motivates righteousness, but trust in God balances despair. Judaism often links courage with faith. Stories like David facing Goliath show that even small and fragile humans, when supported by belief and justice, can walk through fear. Hinduism frames fear as illusion, Maya. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reminds Arjuna that fear comes from attachment. True wisdom sees beyond the temporary body, into the eternal soul. Across religions, fear is recognized, but it is reframed, not as weakness but as part of the path to faith, humility, and wisdom. Gendered voices, who may express fear. Culture also shapes who is allowed to feel fear openly. In many societies, boys and men are told from childhood, "Don't be scared, be brave." Tears and trembling are often discouraged. Fear becomes shameful for them, as if it threatens masculinity. Girls, on the other hand, may be permitted more openly to show fear, sometimes too much, reinforcing stereotypes of fragility. These lessons shape adulthood. Some suppress fear so deeply they cannot admit it. Others feel fear but doubt their resilience. Recognizing these cultural biases allows us to say, fear is simply human. It belongs to everyone. Collective fears, shared shadows of culture. Beyond personal fears, cultures also shape collective fears. Societies fear outsiders, leading to prejudice. Nations fear poverty, war, or disease, shaping politics and behavior. Generations carry fears of climate change, technology, future uncertainty. Often, these collective fears are woven into stories, myths, even media. Horror movies play on shared fears of death, darkness, the unknown, entertaining us while reflecting deeper anxieties. Shared fear can divide, but can also unite. Whole movements are born out of shared fear of injustice, leading to courage in solidarity. universal voices. And yet, through all this diversity, one truth emerges. Every culture finds a way to give shape and meaning to fear. The West says, defeat it. The East says, observe it. Indigenous wisdom says, respect it. African traditions say, face it together. Religion says, transform it into reverence or faith. So fear is never meaningless. It is always teaching. It always points beyond itself, toward what a culture loves, values, respects. When fear becomes excessive, fear protects us, but when it becomes constant, it can trap us. Anxiety disorders, when fear lingers even without threats. Phobia, intense fears of specific objects or situations. Social anxiety, fear of rejection or humiliation. Trauma and PTSD, past dangers replaying in the present. In these states, the fear system is hyperactive, ringing alarms for situations that are not truly dangerous. The wisdom of fear. And yet even excessive fear is trying to help. It is the body saying, please keep me safe. The wisdom of fear is this. It points us to what we value. We fear losing life, losing loved ones, losing dignity. Fear's intensity reveals where our deepest attachments lie. If we learn to listen, fear can become a guide to what matters. Working with fear. How can we live wisely with fear? 1. Naming it. Say softly, this is fear, I feel it in my chest. Numbing calms the amygdala. 2. Breathing. Long exhales signal to the body that the danger is not immediate. 3. Contextualizing. Ask, is the danger real, or is this a memory, a projection? 4. Gradual exposure. Facing fears step by step teaches the brain new safety patterns. 5. Compassion. Instead of hiding our fear, we can thank it. Fear, I know you are trying to protect me. Guided visualization. Meeting fear as a guardian. Close your eyes now if that feels safe. Take a slow breath in and release it gently. Feel the ground beneath you. Imagine that with every exhale, your body sinks just a little deeper into safety, into support. Allow the outer world to fade as your inner world opens. Place a hand gently over your heart. Feel its soft rhythm. Whisper to yourself, in this moment I am safe. In this moment I am present. Notice your breath. It doesn't need to be perfect. Simply follow it. The inhale entering and the exhale leaving, like waves along the shore. With each cycle of breath, release a little more tension. Release the tight jaw, the furrowed forehead, the shoulders that carry too much weight. Your body begins to remember what safety feels like. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet forest. The sun is setting, painting the sky with soft oranges and pinks. The trees stand tall, steady guardians. As you step inside, the air cools, fresh with the scent of pine and earth. You hear the crunch of leaves beneath your feet, the soft rustle of branches above. The forest holds you gently, like an ancient friend. You walk slowly, following a narrow path. You do not need to know where it leads. Your only task is to walk and to breathe. As you walk, you notice ahead a shadow, not a clear form, just a presence. Your heart stirs slightly, your breath shortens, fear. Instead of running, pause, place a hand over your heart again, feel its steady beat. Gently whisper, fear, I see you. I will not run from you, I will listen. The shadow moves closer and yet you notice, it does not harm you. It waits as if carrying something. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, the shadow begins to change. It softens, taking shape. Slowly, it becomes a figure, not frightening but familiar, like a guardian who has walked beside you for years. In its hand, it carries a lantern. The flame glows softly, not threatening but comforting. The figure whispers to you, I am fear. I am not here to destroy you. I am here to protect you, to light your path. You look into the lantern. Within the flame, you see images. The people you love. The dreams you hold dearly. The values you refuse to abandon. And you realize, Fear arises not because you are weak, but because you care deeply. Fear protects what matters most. You continue walking through the forest, now beside this guardian of fear. With each step, the lantern lights the path. Sometimes the light flickers brighter when danger is near. Sometimes it dims, reminding you that the way is safe. The guardian never forces you, it simply walks beside you. When a branch snaps in the distance, you tense, but then you see the lantern glow steady, showing you, not every sound is a threat. Breathe. Step by step, fear changes from an enemy into a companion. As you walk further, you come to a clearing under the moonlight. In the center, a calm river flows. The guardian invites you to approach the water. In your hands, imagine holding the fears that no longer serve you, the exaggerated alarms, the anxious whispers of what if. One by one, place these fears into the river. Watch them float away downstream, carried gently by the current. Notice how your body feels lighter. The burden is not all yours to carry anymore. Your guardian stands beside you, lantern in hand, reminding you, some fears protect, but others can be released. Now turn to your guardian of fear. Thank it softly. Bow your head in gratitude for its vigilance, its desire to protect, even if clumsy at times. Say to yourself, "Fear, I know you are part of me. I will listen to your message, but I will not let you control me. We will walk together, you and I." The guardian smiles, lantern glowing warmly, and then slowly it merges back into you, not gone, but part of your strength. Take a deep breath, feel the cool air of the forest, listen one last time to the rustle of leaves, and then slowly begin to return to your body. Feel again the surface beneath you. Feel your breath moving. Feel your heart steady and alive. Take one final inhale, hold and exhale slowly. When you are ready, open your eyes gently. Remember, fear is not a curse, it is a guardian. A voice of protection that, when honored with compassion, can guide you toward wisdom and courage. The next time fear visits, visualize this guardian with its lantern. Let it remind you, fear arises because something precious needs care. Walk with it, not against it, and allow its flame to light your way. Today, here in Soft Voice Psychology, we have walked together into the territory of fear. And as we explored, we discovered that fear is not just chains that bind us, not just shadows that paralyze us. It is also a guardian, a protector, a companion that, however uncomfortable, is always trying to keep us safe. Think about that for a moment. The shiver in your spine, the tension in your stomach, the sudden racing of your heart, that is fear speaking in the only language it knows. It says, "Please be careful. Please honor what you love. Please protect what matters to you." Fear is not random. It does not come from nowhere. It comes because there is something in you worth protecting. Your life, your values, your dignity, your dreams. Yes, fear can misfire. Sometimes it shouts too loudly when there is no real danger. Sometimes it keeps us from opportunities, from relationships, from growth. But what if, instead of pushing fear away, we began to sit with it, listen to it, even thank it? Take a breath with me now. Inhale slowly and exhale gently. Imagine the next time fear arises in you. Perhaps it comes before a presentation. Perhaps it visits when you think of speaking your truth. Perhaps it arrives when you love someone deeply and fear their loss. In that moment, rather than judging yourself, rather than saying, "Why am I so afraid? I shouldn't be like this," pause, place your hand on your chest, feel your heartbeat, whisper gently to yourself, "Fear, I see you. What are you trying to protect in me? What value are you pointing to right now?" Maybe fear is pointing to your longing to be accepted. Maybe it is pointing to your desire to stay alive. Maybe it is pointing to your yearning for love to remain forever. When fear shows you what matters most, it becomes less frightening because you see, beneath fear is always love. Beneath fear is always value. Think back on your own life. How many times were you afraid of a risk, of rejection, of change? And looking back now, can you see that fear was born because you cared? If you had not cared, you would not have feared. So today, let us reframe fear not as a weakness, not as a flaw, not as proof of failure, but as evidence of your humanity, of your depth, of your capacity to value and to love. Fear prepares us to survive, yes, but beyond survival, fear shows us what we are unwilling to lose. It reveals our heart by pointing to what we treasure. And so, next time fear visits, may you breathe with it. May you pause and listen. May you have the courage to ask the simple but powerful question. Fear, what are you trying to protect in me? Because within that answer lies a truth about who you are and what matters most to you. And maybe, just maybe, instead of pushing fear away, you will learn to hold its hand. You will say, walk with me, guard me, warn me when danger is real, but do not rule me. Do not stop me from living fully. Fear is like a child tugging at your sleeve. If you scold it, it cries louder. If you ignore it, it acts out. But if you kneel down and listen, if you take its hand, it calms. It walks with you step by step. So let fear walk beside you, not ahead of you, not behind you. Let it be a companion, a flame that illuminates without burning, a reminder that you are alive, that you love, that you care too deeply to simply move through this world untouched. Take a last breath with me now. Inhale soft and exhale even softer. And as you rise from this reflection, carry with you this truth. Fear is not your enemy. It is your messenger. It is your guardian. It will whisper again. It will visit again. But now you know how to listen. Now you know how to walk with it. And when the path is dark, may you let fear's small lantern show you the way, not to stop you, but to help you live more wisely, more gently, and more fully.